Global talent networks and local economic complexity, the mediating role of organizational structures. Abstract. This article examines how organizational structures mediate the relationship between global talent networks and local economic complexity. As economies become increasingly knowledge-driven, the interaction between internationally mobile talent and local economic ecosystems has emerged as a crucial determinant of innovation capacity and economic diversification. Drawing on research from economic geography, organizational science, and talent management, this analysis identifies how organizational architecture either facilitates or impedes the translation of global knowledge flows into local economic complexity. The evidence suggests that organizations with permeable boundaries, cross-functional collaboration mechanisms, and decentralized decision-making are better positioned to leverage international talent networks to enhance local capabilities. By deliberately designing organizational structures that support knowledge transfer across geographic and cultural boundaries, firms can serve as crucial intermediaries that transform global talent mobility into locally embedded economic complexity, ultimately driving regional competitive advantage and resilience. The relationship between globally mobile talent and local economic prosperity has shifted dramatically in recent decades. While traditional economic models emphasized the movement of financial capital and physical resources, contemporary growth increasingly depends on knowledge flows facilitated by human mobility across borders. However, the mere presence of international talent in a region does not automatically translate into enhanced economic complexity. The diversity and sophistication of productive knowledge embedded within local economies, Hidalgo and Hausman. 2009. This translation challenge is particularly acute today as organizations navigate post-pandemic work arrangements, geopolitical tensions affecting talent mobility, and digital transformation that simultaneously enables remote work while demanding new combinations of specialized knowledge. The organizational structures that mediate between global talent networks and local economic ecosystems have never been more consequential. Yet they remain under-examined in both research and practice. This article addresses this gap by analyzing how organizational architectures can be deliberately designed to transform global knowledge carried by mobile talent into locally embedded capabilities that enhance economic complexity. For multinational corporations, government agencies, universities, and entrepreneurial ecosystems alike, understanding this mediating role has become essential for competitive advantage in an era where innovation increasingly emerges from novel combinations of specialized knowledge across geographic boundaries. The global-local talent landscape defining global talent networks and economic complexity. Global talent networks represent the interconnected systems of highly skilled professionals who move across national boundaries, carrying specialized knowledge, cultural intelligence, and relational capital. These networks include expatriate managers, international students, migrant entrepreneurs, technical specialists, and transnational knowledge workers who maintain connections across multiple locations. Saxenian. 2007. Unlike traditional expatriation, contemporary global talent networks often feature multidirectional mobility patterns and simultaneous connections to multiple locations. Economic complexity, meanwhile, refers to the diversity and sophistication of productive knowledge embedded within a local economy. Hidalgo and Hausman, 2009, conceptualize economic complexity as the ability of a location to produce varied and knowledge-intensive products and services that few other places can make. Regions with high economic complexity possess not just specialized knowledge in isolated domains but the capacity to combine diverse knowledge types in novel ways that support innovation and adaptation. The interaction between these two concepts, global talent networks and local economic complexity, is mediated by organizational structures that either facilitate or hinder knowledge flows, recombination, and local embeddedness. Prevalence, drivers, and distribution. Global talent mobility has expanded dramatically in recent decades. with the number of high-skilled migrants increasing by 130% between 1990 and 2010. Outpacing the overall migration growth rate, Kerr et al. 2016. This accelerating pattern has created unprecedented interconnectedness of knowledge networks while simultaneously concentrating certain forms of expertise in superstar cities and innovation hubs. Several forces drive these patterns. First, technological advancements have reduced coordination costs across distances while increasing the premium for specialized expertise that can be deployed globally. Second, demographic shifts in developed economies have created talent shortages in specific domains, drawing international talent to aging societies. Third, multinational enterprises have expanded their global footprints, creating demand for cross-culturally competent professionals. Finally, universities have internationalized their student bodies and research collaborations, creating pipeline effects for talent mobility. Saxenian. 2007. The distribution of these global talent networks remains highly uneven. While innovation hubs like Silicon Valley, Singapore, London, and Tel Aviv have effectively leveraged international talent to enhance their economic complexity, many regions struggle to attract or retain global talent or fail to integrate these professionals into local knowledge networks effectively. Kerr. 2018. This uneven distribution suggests that the organizational structures mediating between global talent and local economies play a crucial role in determining which regions benefit from talent mobility. Organizational and individual consequences of global-local talent integration. Organizational performance impacts. Organizations that effectively integrate global talent into their local operations demonstrate measurable performance advantages. Research by Stahl et al. 2012 indicates that firms with higher proportions of international talent in leadership positions outperform industry peers by 26% in innovation output and 21% in average profit margins over 5 years. This performance premium emerges from multiple mechanisms. First, organizations with diverse talent compositions demonstrate enhanced problem-solving capabilities. Studies show that culturally diverse teams outperform homogeneous teams by 35% on complex problem-solving tasks that require innovation. Phillips et al. 2009. Second, international talent networks provide superior market intelligence through their understanding of diverse consumer preferences and regulatory environments. Organizations leveraging this intelligence show 18% higher new market entry success rates than those relying primarily on secondary research. Modovan and Iriyama. 2009. Finally, globally connected talent facilitates international partnership development, with multinational teams securing cross-border alliances 40% faster than teams composed entirely of nationals from the headquarters country. Neely. 2015. However, these performance benefits materialize only when organizations have structures in place to facilitate knowledge integration. Without appropriate organizational architectures, the potential benefits of global talent diversity can become liabilities, leading to communication barriers, coordination challenges, and fragmented knowledge silos. Individual well-being and stakeholder impacts for individual talent. Participation in global knowledge networks offers both opportunities and challenges. Internationally mobile professionals typically earn 18 to 20% higher compensation than comparable professionals who remain in their home countries. Kerr et al. 2016. Moreover, global talent typically benefits from accelerated career advancement, with expatriate experiences correlating with 14% faster promotion rates upon return to home countries. Stahl et al. 2009. However, these advantages come with significant personal costs. Research on global talent experiences indicates that 31% of international assignees report relationship strain, 28% experience challenges with family adjustment, and 24% struggle with professional identity disruption during transitions. McNulty and Brewster. 2017. Additionally, many global professionals navigate complex social integration challenges in host locations, with 37% reporting limited meaningful connection to local networks outside work environments. BERT. 2019. For local stakeholders and communities, global talent integration creates mixed effects. Regions receiving international talent typically benefit from knowledge spillovers, entrepreneurship, and enhanced connections to global markets. However, rapid influxes of high-income global talent can also contribute to housing affordability challenges, infrastructure strain, and potential social fragmentation when integration is poorly managed. Florida. 2017. Evidence-based organizational responses developing boundary-spanning structures. Organizations that excel at converting global talent networks into local economic complexity establish deliberate, boundary-spanning structures. These architectural elements bridge organizational silos, connect diverse knowledge domains, and facilitate integration between global talent and local expertise. The evidence suggests that effective boundary-spanning structures share several common features: dedicated integrator roles, formal positions designed to connect international and local knowledge domains, often filled by professionals with multicultural backgrounds and cross-functional expertise. Rotation programs, structured opportunities for talent to experience multiple functions, business units and geographic locations. Communities of practice, self-organizing groups that connect professionals with similar expertise across geographic and organizational boundaries. Physical co-location strategies, deliberate space planning that increases interaction between international and local talent. IBM transformed its global research capabilities by implementing a global, first-of-a-kind program that pairs research scientists with client-facing teams across different geographies. The program required restructuring traditional R&D departments into boundary-spanning units where international researchers work directly with local implementation teams. This organizational architecture has accelerated the company's ability to translate global innovations into locally relevant solutions, with projects emerging from the program reaching market 40% faster than those developed in traditional siloed research units. The program has been particularly successful in IBM's emerging market locations, where it has enabled the company to develop solutions tailored to local market conditions while leveraging its global expertise. Building cultural intelligence capabilities. Effective organizations systematically develop cultural intelligence within their structures, enabling talent to navigate both global and local contexts effectively. Cultural intelligence represents the capability to function effectively across culturally diverse settings and to recombine knowledge from different cultural contexts. Early and Ang. 2003. Research demonstrates several evidence-based approaches for building cultural intelligence capabilities: cultural intelligence assessment and development, systematic evaluation and improvement of individual and team capabilities for cross-cultural effectiveness, cross-cultural mentoring programs, structured relationships that pair international talent with local experts and vice versa, implicit bias mitigation systems, processes and training that reduce unconscious barriers to knowledge, integration across cultural boundaries, multilingual knowledge management, systems that preserve cognitive nuance across language barriers. Unilever has institutionalized cultural intelligence development through its Cultural Navigators program, which identifies employees with strong cross-cultural capabilities and trains them to serve as integration resources across the organization. These navigators receive specialized training in cultural intelligence facilitation and are deployed to guide cross-cultural teams through complex projects. The program includes a structured knowledge-sharing platform where navigators document integration challenges and solutions, creating an evolving organizational resource. Since implementing this structural intervention, Unilever has reported a 28% increase in innovation projects successfully transferred across geographic markets and a 32% improvement in employee assessments of cross-cultural team effectiveness. Creating knowledge recombination mechanisms. Organizations that successfully leverage global talent networks for local economic complexity implement deliberate mechanisms for knowledge recombination. These structures facilitate the novel combination of specialized expertise from different geographic contexts, enabling innovation that would not be possible in either context alone. Evidence supports several approaches to knowledge recombination: innovation tournaments, structured competitions that incentivize novel combinations of global and local knowledge, hackathons and design sprints, time-bound collaborative events that bring together diverse expertise to solve specific challenges, reverse innovation programs, formalized processes for adapting solutions from emerging markets to developed economies, collaborative technology platforms, digital tools designed to facilitate knowledge sharing and co-creation across geographic boundaries. Massachusetts General Hospital established a global health innovation hub that creates structural connections between its global health practitioners and local clinical innovation teams. The hub includes dedicated physical space where returning global health workers interact with Boston-based clinicians and MIT engineers through structured knowledge recombination sessions. One notable success emerged when emergency medicine physicians returning from resource-constrained settings in Uganda collaborated with Boston-based medical device engineers to develop a low-cost alternative to traditional vital signs monitors. The resulting innovation has not only been deployed back to Uganda but has created new market opportunities in rural American healthcare settings where traditional monitoring equipment is prohibitively expensive. This bidirectional knowledge flow exemplifies how organizational structures can translate global experience into local economic complexity. Implementing talent embeddedness programs. Forward-thinking organizations recognize that global talent creates maximum value when it becomes embedded in local knowledge ecosystems. Talent embeddedness represents the depth and diversity of connections between international professionals and local networks, institutions, and knowledge resources. Research supports several effective approaches to talent embeddedness: local stakeholder engagement programs, structured opportunities for international talent to build relationships with local business leaders, government officials, and community organizations, regional innovation ecosystem participation, formalized roles for global talent in local industry associations, startup incubators, and educational institutions, civic integration support, resources and incentives for international talent to engage with local civic and cultural institutions, dual career support programs, services that help partners and families of international talent integrate professionally into local communities. Microsoft India has developed a comprehensive talent embeddedness program called Local Roots that systematically connects its international staff with the Hyderabad innovation ecosystem. The program includes structured relationship building with local universities, startups, and government innovation agencies. International employees receive dedicated time allocations for mentoring local students, advising startups, and participating in regional economic development initiatives. The company credits this structural approach to talent embeddedness with generating 17 new business opportunities through local partnerships and significantly enhancing its ability to recruit and retain international talent in the region. By creating organizational structures that facilitate these connections, Microsoft has strengthened both its business performance and the overall innovation capacity of the Hyderabad technology ecosystem. Building long-term global-local integration capability. Designing organizational architecture for knowledge permeability to sustain effective global-local talent integration over time. Organizations must design their fundamental architecture for knowledge permeability, the capacity for information and ideas to flow across structural boundaries. This architectural approach goes beyond specific programs to reshape core organizational systems. Evidence from high-performing organizations suggests three critical elements for permeable organizational design. First, successful organizations implement matrix structures that balance geographic and functional reporting lines, creating multiple pathways for knowledge flow. These matrix arrangements provide formal mechanisms for global expertise to inform local decisions while ensuring local insights influence global strategy. According to research by Bartlett and Goschel, 2002, organizations with well-implemented matrix structures demonstrate 23% higher knowledge transfer effectiveness than those with purely geographic or functional hierarchies. Second, permeable organizations redesign physical and virtual workspaces to increase unplanned interactions between diverse talent. The strategic use of collaboration zones, digital platforms with randomized connection features, and cross-unit project spaces creates infrastructure for knowledge exchange that transcends formal reporting relationships. Third, organizations with strong knowledge permeability implement governance systems that mandate cross-unit collaboration on strategic initiatives. These mechanisms include funding models that require multiple geographic units to co-invest in innovation projects and decision processes that integrate diverse perspectives from different locations. Cultivating transnational leadership identity organizations that excel at global-local talent integration systematically develop leaders with transnational identities, professionals who maintain simultaneous psychological and social connections to multiple geographic contexts, Sanchez et al. 2000. These leaders serve as crucial bridges in the knowledge translation process. Building transnational leadership identity requires structural interventions at multiple levels. At the selection level, organizations must identify candidates with potential for dual or multiple cultural identities and experiences that demonstrate the capacity to integrate diverse knowledge systems. During development, deliberate exposure to multiple markets, functions, and cultural contexts builds the cognitive flexibility essential for transnational leadership. Performance management systems in forward-thinking organizations explicitly reward knowledge integration across boundaries. By including metrics related to cross-unit collaboration, knowledge sharing, and boundary-spanning in promotion criteria, these organizations structurally incentivize the development of transnational leadership identity throughout their talent pipelines. Furthermore, organizations with mature global-local integration capabilities establish formal leadership succession processes that prioritize international experience and demonstrable ability to translate global insights into local contexts. Research by Black et al. 2019 indicates that companies with such succession systems have 34% higher leadership bench strength in key international markets than organizations without such structural approaches. Establishing dynamic capability feedback systems. The most sophisticated organizations establish dynamic capability feedback systems that continuously adapt their global-local integration structures based on performance data and environmental changes. These systems transform the organization's capacity to leverage global talent networks into a renewable competitive advantage. Effective dynamic capability systems include three essential components. First, they implement knowledge flow diagnostics that regularly assess where and how effectively information moves across geographic and organizational boundaries. These diagnostics provide quantitative and qualitative data about structural bottlenecks and integration points requiring enhancement. Second, leading organizations establish global-local integration metrics that measure both the process of knowledge transfer and its outcomes in terms of innovation, market performance, and talent retention. These metrics become part of the organization's strategic dashboard, elevating the importance of integration effectiveness. Third, organizations create structural flexibility through modular organizational designs that can be reconfigured as talent mobility patterns, market conditions, and knowledge requirements evolve. This modularity enables rapid adaptation to changing global-local dynamics without disruptive reorganizations. Conclusion: the relationship between global talent networks and local economic complexity represents one of the most significant opportunities for organizational and regional competitive advantage in the knowledge economy. However, this relationship is neither automatic nor straightforward. As this analysis has demonstrated, organizational structures play a crucial mediating role in determining whether the potential of global talent networks translates into enhanced local economic complexity. Organizations that deliberately design their structures to facilitate boundary spanning, cultural intelligence, knowledge recombination, and talent embeddedness create the conditions for productive knowledge flows across geographic and cultural boundaries. By implementing permeable organizational architectures, developing transnational leadership identity, and establishing dynamic capability feedback systems, these organizations build sustainable advantages in global-local integration. For organizational leaders, this evidence suggests the need to view organizational structure not merely as an administrative concern but as a strategic lever for knowledge integration. By deliberately designing organizational architectures that bridge global talent networks and local economic ecosystems, leaders can unlock innovation potential that remains dormant in more traditionally structured organizations. As global talent mobility continues to increase and economic complexity becomes an increasingly important determinant of prosperity, the organizations that master this mediating role will disproportionately contribute to, and benefit from, the development of their local economic ecosystems while leveraging global knowledge networks for competitive advantage.